aggression from Stay Green. It was the Moon Queen that ultimately got enough farm, and they played it really well. Moon Queen and Bombardier, of course, too. And, ultimately she just did so much damage in the late game, despite the fact that SG had a number of tokens to work with being in that Hellborn position.
Yeah.
And, they did have bananas to work with, but they kind of passed up on those a number of times, too. But, yeah, for good reason, Moon Queen spanned out.
Yeah, that was pretty silly. But locking phase, Keeper of the Forest first locked, and specifically Stay Green. It seems like they, more so than any other team, don't really care about facing a Keeper of the Forest. They never blind ban Keeper of the Forest, it seems like. And again, they are successful, of course. Here they are in the grand finals. We're at 2 games apiece. This is the final game, but I find that pretty interesting. But anyways,
yeah.
It is going to be locked here by QsQ, go figure. The follow-up, you got Pebbles Fade. There's the Voodoo Jester Moraxis after that, and then Tempest, actually, to finish things off. So, yeah, locking phase, again, brings us very, very strong heroes for sure. You mentioned this also before. I mean, Sonomon specifically, again, he likes to not only not blind ban the Keeper and then eventually have it get locked by the team, but then he likes to go more of an aggressive, initiator mid-type heroes, and Pebbles Fade, obviously. So,
right.
Kind of following that up even.
Now, I'm looking at the recent games here coming out, and I'm pretty sure that Keeper has a 100% win on both of these sides. I'm looking at it, and I think it does actually. Yeah, that's one thing to note too. So, obviously there was 3 games actually played here. Of course, Stay Green coming up in this best of 5 up 1 game as a result of coming from the winners bracket. And in the 3 games we've seen, actually only Keeper was picked up in game 2 and 3, so to speak. And did well. So that's one thing to think about with QsQ being in the driver's seat as first pick, and Keep the Forest is available now.
Yeah. By the way, I actually just got a live update here. Breaking news here on HoNcast. Being on a computer and everything, keep the stream up, of course. We can probably get something better than that. But thanks, Charles. Thanks for the effort.
Yeah.
I actually just got news that the app that I was talking about for the Facebook, so go to facebook.com/HoNcast, not only like that page, but then also you can get the app real quickly to then put in your vote for, this is stage number 1, to what city the HoN Tour Grand Finals are going to be held in. So there you go. Definitely check that out. Now, it'll be open, I only believe, for a couple of hours, so I got to do it ASAP if you want a chance. Anyways, okay, here we are with the game. Back to this, back to what we got here. So you talked about the bands. Wretched Hag, Plague Rider, Jerizah, Bombardier, Aluna, Zephyr, and Parasite. Sure enough, going to be first picked, actually, coming out here for Q Squad. So they get the Parasite. Now, Glacius Bubbles, the follow-up from SG, though. But Parasite, Mally plays a great Parasite. And in general, that is a hero that is obviously very the catch up there on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, delays. Oh, delays. It's always fun for us. And we see that ourselves.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so yeah, Parasite first picked here. Get to see Parasite for the first time. This whole weekend, I believe. He's just usually banned every game, so.
Yeah, I know. Parasite actually makes it through. And Mali does play Parasite pretty well, as well as most junglers. And I am very curious to see how Parasite is played, because it's been so long, honestly, since I've seen him. Silhouette and Torture to be followed up right there. Of course, Glacius and Bubbles picked up for Stay Green.
Yeah. Now back over to Stay Green. Actually, a hero that comes to mind that they haven't done in a long time, or a while since we've, I don't even think this weekend, but Tremble is actually a hero that Keizu plays great, and SG loves to run it. So we need to see teams ban Tremble against them. You're not a fan necessarily.
I think they tried him out enough, as well as several teams did a DreamHack, to realize that it just doesn't win games.
Okay.
I mean, it's strong if you get a 1v1 matchup in the suicide lane against certain heroes, but even then, it just seems to taper off in the mid to late game. You just basically become this invis fast walking unit that slows people, and that's about it. So especially when you go certain builds, I don't think it's very effective. But nonetheless, they could.
But nonetheless, it is. They are allowed to.
They're allowed to, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess I'll let them. Tundra's actually, something tells me Tundra really hasn't been banned this series a whole lot, because he is also open again. I want to say even last game, I remember I didn't point that out, but I think I remember seeing him on ban. It's actually going to be Soul Reaper, though. Interesting. So a hero we don't really see on the competitive scene. But SG, they have ran it, this team specifically, in the past. So Keeper. Now, okay. Now, what we've talked about with Soul Reaper is that he matches up fairly well against a Suicide Keeper of the Forest.
Yep.
So perhaps that was the logic there.
Yeah, he does. He does match up very well. And we're going to see the Pebbles and actually the Tempest Interesting about the Tempest pickup, but they just want another jungler. So it's going to be the Glacius Pebbles mid, Soul Reaper. The only thing about SG's lineup is it's very obvious what they're going to do. And we're going to see, I really think that Parasite's actually going to have a huge impact this game.
Yeah.
To silence Soul Reaper to kill him faster so he can't heal himself, to counter the Tempest ultimate even if he has a shrunken head. Not to mention Keeper could do that as well. So we see yet again another game where Tempest is going to have kind of a rough time.
You know what? Something tells me if you're Q Squad here, so like you said, it is very obvious what Stay Green's going to run. Is it possible, you think, instead of sending what you would think to be the Suicide Keeper, could you go Keeper short and then man up Pseudo Tri-Lane top? With, say, Parasite obviously in the jungle, then something like a Silhouette Torturer.
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely could. I don't know if that's necessarily what they're going to do, but you definitely could do that. And right now we actually see, it's Silhouette who's going to be soloing short in the bottom lane. But that doesn't mean you still couldn't see maybe Keeper mid?
It looks like, yeah, you mentioned that. I mean, there is that possibility.
I mean, Male is starting out. He has boots, of course, to start out, and they're walking towards the top lane. And I'm not too sure, but Keeper mid would still be good. I mean, it would still be effective. Not to mention, it's probably presumably going to be going up against a dual lane mid and Glacius Pebbles. And he should be able to survive a combo, at least in the beginning. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they do, though. He's kind of thinking about what his items want to be. He's going back and forth between Tango or the Runes of the Blight and the health potion.
Okay, so if anything, it looks like they're just going up to maybe get the Ward of Sight down, which they don't even get. They get one down, but not one blocking the camp. But it looks like we'll probably see Fate go back mid, and actually ends up being a Keeper of the Forest Suicide top. So
I think this is still fine, though, because this is going to ensure that you can get some good ganks off onto the mid lane from Parasite. And like I talk about all the time, the hero that you want to shut down the most in this game is Pebbles. So if you're able to do that with early aggression from Parasite, then you've already accomplished what you need to most this game.
Mal, you mentioned you need to go the boots first as well, so likes to get those early ghost marches we've talked about in the past on him. So, and then build from there eventually into a Codex perhaps if you are getting a decent enough farm earlier on. Can prove to be very, very effective onto him. So here we go into, again, this is it. This is the final game here. We will know who the Diamond Division Cycle number 3 tournament champions are. Will it either be Q Squad or Stay Green? Well, let's get it on. Here we go. Pebbles in the middle lane against that Fate Torture. Obviously, Glacius can eventually join in, but you mentioned this. This is obviously dual range, or not, well, not dual range, but the presence here with Torture and Fate can be pretty good against a Glacius Pebbles, I would assume. So, I mean, do you see either side having a, actually you see a lot of harassment right there right off the bat, but
yeah.
Is there a obvious winner here in this middle matchup?
I still favor Glacius Pebbles. I think that lane composition is so strong, just simply because it can initiate from so far away. I mean, so can Fade and Torture, but I just feel like they don't really have as much damage as Glacius Pebbles do. I mean, it's kind of back and forth. It all really comes down to who's out of position, really. I mean, they're both very strong lanes.
Now, I noticed this here, and again, this is what helps make this Soul Reaper against the Suicide Keeper matchup so strong. He actually went level 1 Aura.
Good.
He went the level 1 Withering Presence. He then just got the heal, of course, with level 2, but off the bat, I mean, Keeper of the Forest dwindling down a little bit of life right there. Does have a health potion on him now, but Soul Reaper, for that reason specifically, and even leveling it up, at least getting a second level into it even, could be very, very powerful for the Soul Reaper in this matchup. So
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what Slicks decides to do here.
Slicks doesn't exactly have the best CS, though. He's actually missed a lot. And it misses another one right there. We'll have to see where the next one happens. I mean, he does use the heal to get that. But
he
he's
brought
pushing
it up last game, too.
On Slicks?
Yeah.
Oh, well, early on he did.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not trying to bust his chops. I'm just saying it does matter.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But just one thing to note.
No, my point more so was, and then look at how he finished on Soul Stealer, let's be honest. Now, obviously, that's a completely different hero, so making a joke right there. But anyways, Slicks right there, he does go to the second level in his heal, of course. As far as his build-up goes. Parasite was trying to get to the bottom rune, but actually Glacius got there a little bit too quickly. And is able to pick up the illusion. So good job by Glacius, being played by Skyzo. Yeah, being played by Skyzo here. Who it seems like he really has stepped up very nicely and fit into that pure, solid support role. Obviously, again, going back to when Slicks was initially picked up going into HoN Tour as a whole, the big question again, what roles were players going to play? I mean, there was really no obvious. I mean, was KZ going to stay carry? Was Slick's going to become more the mid-initiator? There was rumor that Swindle was actually going to take over as the pure support guy for the team. Ooh, Bloodlust kill at the bottom lane. I missed it. I apologize, but Bubbles managing to take out Silhouette solo like that, and he still has plenty of life himself. So
I'm speechless.
I hate myself for missing that because that would have been fun to see.
Speechless. Don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said before, not to say that it can't happen, but it just shouldn't happen, is what I've said before. See some action in the mid lane, actually, as a counter initiation onto Pebbles. Here comes Male on Parasite. Can he actually get the Q off? Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. A final auto attack from Nova gets the kill.
I love the positioning from Nova right there. I got to give him a lot of props because he was sitting on top of this ramp that whole time. He was sitting in front behind them. Even when they were jumping on a fade like they did, he was still up here knowing that there was a good chance that they could return the kill onto eventually as they got on Pebbles, and it allowed him to just get in great positioning to eventually chase down and get off that final auto attack onto him. So very good job by Nova right there. And what looked a little bit scary for them initially appear now to work wonders for the Legion team there in Q Squad. So great turnaround kill, and you mentioned this Pebbles matchup should perhaps have a good time. He ain't off to the hottest start now with that death. He's 11-3 creep farm against a 16, now 17-5 fade actually.
Well,
so
it has to do just simply because of the roam of Parasite.
Yeah.
Obviously, Parasite isn't going to be farming as fast as Tempest. Actually, Tempest finds a regen rune top that is perfect for him. He's even using it. It's still going off. The stun coming out from Pebbles. Here comes the toss, and it will be enough. One more auto tech. Yes, it will onto Style as he falls. So kind of a lucky rune there for Tempest, to be honest, but making the best. And, I mean, that's going to happen all the time as you roam those rooms. So good job for him. But really, the key story right now is that Bubbles bottom lane. Even though he's losing a little slightly in CS, just being able to net a kill right there. He actually might even be able to get a kill again onto Silhouette because he actually figured himself a bottle, has enough mana if he can to maybe get this kelp field plus some extra auto attacks. More action in mid. I missed it, though, as Torture falls to this combination.
Yeah, well, so I was looking at the bottom with you as you're talking about it, and obviously Pebbles and Glacius. Torture was by himself right there. Fade was actually back at base, of course, still making his way back here to the middle lane, and of course, Swindamelons and Skyzo took advantage of that situation. So well played on their part. And more good news continued to happen for them. Whoa! What just happened right there? Okay, it was canceled. I don't know.
I don't even know why he would want to use
that. He would have more than enough life to easily be fine there. So I wonder if that was his cancel, more of just a taunt, if anything. But
no, it looked like it was going to go through for sure. Like he wanted it to go through.
Yeah.
I got to say, though, Jonathan Fan's doing really well up here in the top lane. But hold that thought. He might actually get ganked by Tempest, who has an ultimate ready. Will they have enough damage to take him out? I'm not 100% sure about that, but they might try.
Yes, another big scary thing.
Of course,
he can't go invis, but with that ultimate from Tempest, in fact, there goes right off the bat. He doesn't even stun first. He uses the ultimate, and here comes a boom, goes a dynamite. The stun on top of that, and Skyzo actually gets, whoa, okay, Skyzo gets credit for the kill when it's all said and done on Glacius. Didn't even see him there, but actually he joins the party and gets the credit. So on top of that, they're also not going to push the star. I mean, you're just mentioning how Jonathan Fan is actually doing a pretty good job up here in the lane, but obviously not much you can do right there, as he just got simply outnumbered. So,
yep, top lane's being camped right there by Torture for now. He might be in a little bit of trouble if Glacius can get the slow off. Yes, he can. He's kind of running towards his teammate than Fade, though. Fade gets the stun. Oh, it misses it, actually. There's a double stun combination onto both of them, as well as the toss. There's stun coming out from Torture. Can they get away? A little bit more mana up onto Glacius. He's actually hoarding the bottle there that he borrowed. He gets the slow off. Couple more auto attacks. Maybe no, but the bottle charges are helping Fade there as well. In the meantime, top tower is pushed up by Soul Reaper.
Now Soul Reaper in some trouble, however. Okay, never mind. Jonathan Fan did have a root. I'm wondering maybe with some support could do something, but no, it doesn't really accomplish much in the end. Glacius, in the meantime, he's being cut out. There's the leech from Parasite, and obviously Fade with his combo easily gets the counter kill onto Skyzo there, excuse me, playing that Glacius. So Glacius doing work with that bottle there, and actually he still has the bottle, even though he even died. So
yeah,
Pebbles is right now playing without his bottle currently, but hopefully when he comes back up, he can eventually get that back to him, because that is kind of a big deal here. But so overall right now, though, 3,100 gold lead coming out here in favor of Stay Green. Wow, look at that gold per minute chart. Holy crap. 4 players already over 300 gold per minute right now.
Bubbles the top farmer in the game.
For Stay Green. And yeah, Bubbles, top farmer, being played by QsQ here.
And again, this is, like I say, like, he can win, but he really shouldn't have. And right now, Bubbles is going to do so much for his team. Like that hero, once you, it's actually kind of like a snowball hero. It really is. You don't really think about it, but when he gets one kill like that on the Silhouette, it makes it that much more difficult because he's going to be continually leveling up spells. Actually, more action on the Keeper, or he just faked that it looked like.
Yeah.
But he's going to be leveling up more of his Song of the Sea, which is going to be more damage into a combo on an already under-leveled hero that he went up against.
Yeah.
Parasite's looking to maybe gank him perhaps, but the Spidey senses are tingling for Bubbles there.
Yeah, Melee, I mean, he has had a decent impact. He is 1-0-1, so it's not like he's been AFK by any means.
No, he's been doing well, yeah.
Yeah, he has been doing well. It's just overall the team, I think, yeah, you're just stressing right there, going back to that bottom lane, how Bubbles happened to get that kill. And actually, Mally is running right on top of Ward side right here. He doesn't even realize it, I'm sure. So QsQ knows exactly where Parasite is, trying to set up another gank. Going to be more than fine. In fact, he also has a double damage rune activated here.
But he's keeping two heroes at bay. Like, he sees them. Silhouette can't even run up there. If you get some nukes up onto him, he's maybe trying to bait him into some kind of bad position or bait him into missing a Shell Surf or something like that. But look, at Bubbles is controlling this lane. The Shell Surf does connect. There's a Song of the Sea and the ultimate. And actually, the double damage is stolen right now by Molly. But is he going to have enough damage? He's already used all his spells. Bubbles is walking away. Using those ball charges is not going to be enough. And Bubbles, I think, will get away. Does a little bit of juking and jiving. I mean, actually, some more support coming out. Is he actually going to get the kill? Oh, Mally runs back in, gets double stunned there from Tempest. Tempest does have an ultimate if he wants to use it. Shell Surf is going to hit. Doesn't matter, and Bubbles is going to take over this game.
I have to assume he didn't see Tempest. I mean, I thought he actually could have seen Tempest coming in, but no, he fell for the bait from Bubbles. He thought he could go for a kill, and that's exactly what Bubbles wanted. Tempest was ready to back him up. Gets another kill, and it is getting ugly here early on for QsQ. Stay Green has a lot of momentum they're building up here. And also remember, Soul Reaper now comes to the bottom lane. He joins the party. Slicks is farming 340 gold per minute himself with the Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments, and Ring of the Teacher picked up. But this bottom tower, it is dropping quickly. You do see QsQ kind of moving on over, but I think it's just going to drop too fast. They even use on vulnerability. But they're not going to be able to get here in time. Ports are coming in, however. Bubbles going to try to port out immediately, and he will be successful with that. But the chase is still on. Fade coming out of the Invis will land the Burning Shadows on the Soul Reaper. In the meantime, Tempest is there. He does have an ultimate, I believe. He's going to be silenced, though. But no, the Coal actually burns his mana. Not enough mana anymore. The Death Lotus does snipe Soul Reaper, but the heal coming out. And Soul Reaper summons alive. In comes Bubbles with it. Still Agmas will connect on the Parasite. Parasite trying to live on life on the edge. He'll barely do that. Coal stun on top of the Burning Shadows, and actually chucks Fade away right there. Torch not being chain stun by Tempest in the meantime, and Nova will fall right there. Parasite already dead. Silhouette being picked off now, and it is just getting uglier and uglier for QsQ. Burning Shadows with Fade, but he just exposes himself in the end. He can't even take out Tempest. And oh my god, Stay Green is at such a huge lead now when it's all said and done. 10.5 minutes in. Wow. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think it just... So, honestly, the lane loss, unfortunately, by Nox early on really paid off in favor of QsQ and the rest of his team. And, you know, while Molly was doing a great job about roaming on early from Parasite, he wasn't netting all the kills in the world. And as a result, because Parasite does not farm that fast, you have him level 6 with very, very low farm. And, you know, Z-Freak playing the Tempest with 2 kills, 5 assists under his belt as well, who has a massive amount of farm. Not to mention, Bubbles almost already has his portal key if that's what he wants to go for. And this is only the 11-minute mark, and he was the suicide Bubbles. Yeah. So this is just looking very, very grim early on here for
QsQ. In some trouble. There comes a chain reaction. Even the Skeleton King for Parasite, but he's still alive. Even the face hug, he is still alive. He gets a full combo off.
No way.
He actually lives. Unbelievable. If you're QsQ, you just got to be base palming right now, because that is just the epitome of just, are you kidding me? Like, really? Did that just happen? Stay Green they're on their way to winning the championships here. Or winning the finals, I should say.
Yeah. I can't believe he died. Like, that's got to be the most demoralizing thing ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the face hug was up from Molly or he just thought that they could get the kill without it, but the kind of hesitation from his end and then other people as well paid off. And, you know, as a result, I think maybe some heals were in store there from Soul Reaper as well. I don't know for sure, but Pebbles does live, and he's almost got his own portal.
Here we go. Root in the background, trying to make something happen. Malay will fall instantly, though, on that Parasite. Give it the force of Root, not doing too much in the end. Soul Reaper, of course, with that AoE heal bomb, I'm sure doing plenty of work for the team. Z-Freak got the kill on a Malay, so everyone's still alive, of course, on the Hellborn side. You got to keep it the force, thinking about maybe going back in. But no, that should be the end of that unless we see a reset here from State Green. Pebbles doesn't have a portal key, so can't really jump in. Instead, well, yeah, just fall back and continue to farm. But 12,000 gold lead. We are now only 12.5 minutes into this game. And a really impressive stat that's standing out to me is actually 4 of the 5 heroes are well beyond anyone on the Legion team right now. And then you have actually Iglesias, who's last, but he is up there with Keeper of the Force, who's top on the Legion team.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it is just ugly on all sorts of levels here for Q Squad, and State Green is just playing very, very well here. In what is, again, this is the final game. Winning team wins it all in cycle number 3 for the HoN Tour Diamond Division. And right now it's looking very, very good for State Green here.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think usually when you have huge leads like this, it's because of like something went wrong in the draft and actually some initiation onto bubbles. But he's he's actually pretty tanky now that I think about it. There's a tree grapple onto him. He uses the shell serve to get away, activates the double damage tree, and keep the force in the meantime, trying to aggress on this tower. And he will be fine for now. Actually, they do get the denied credit for Sky, so Slicks gets the ultimate on Jonas Fan. Here comes some more aggression with the portal key up on the Tempest. It's continuing, though. Bubbles wants more blood. There's actually Faye to use the Invis to get away. This is just becoming, honestly, pretty bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we went from Q Squad having some of the craziest momentum we've seen in HoN lately. As you see another kill happening on a Nox as just as far as over the last couple of days. 2-0 Complexity, 2-0 TDM, 2-0 TT Esports. They won the first 2 games here against State Green. We're on the verge of becoming the champions here in the Cycle 3. But then State Green held it off in that last game in what was, again, another very good and close game. But now here we are in the final game, and it's just Q Squad just ran out of gas. I mean, State Green. And again, it's not to take away from State Green by any means. They have been playing very well, and they ultimately will be deserving of winning it all once they there's a good chance that it is going to, again, I don't want to stay away from saying 100%, but yeah, a good chance from taking it all. But boy, oh boy, was it a run for Q Squad. But in the end, State Green, they are the ones that are just in such a huge lead now. Just talk about just even a stomp here in this final game. Yeah. And it is unfortunate, obviously, as a spectator even, to kind of see that, but that's just how it plays sometimes.
Absolutely. 17 hero kills to 2 right now. Not even 15 minutes in. I'm wondering if Q Squad, I mean, they're just kind of waiting in the base right now. Look at them. Perhaps maybe it's just they have nowhere else to farm. They have no vision up or anything. Well, they actually do have a little bit of warding up, but yeah.
It's what you're getting at. We are coming up to 15 minutes here. Pebbles is just going to easily combo Nova. You see Tempest jumping in. Fade tried to assist, but now he's in a little bit of trouble. He will fall back. But yeah, obviously passing up that 15-minute mark, nothing coming out from Q Squad. Okay, there you go. And again, it's understandable, but well, what that means, State Green, they are your HoN Tour Diamond Division Cycle 3 champions. Congratulations to them, as there you go, very deserving of the victory here. Again, they were up 1-0 as a result of them coming from the winner's bracket. Good thing they were, because, wow, again, they got up to a crazy start there for Q Squad, winning the first 2 games, but State Green perseveres. They not only won the previous game here, but they just dominate in the final game. Yeah. And they get what is now 4,000 points on top of the $4,000 here for finishing first place. So big congratulations.
That'll help the fun to get Slicks over here to, to USA.
Good point. He talked about later on in January here. So yeah, good point.
Awesome. Well, congrats to them. And I thought at first the Soul Hero pickup, obviously it's fantastic against Keeper. And like you mentioned, went for the Aura first. And it did a lot of work that game early on in the laning phase. But, you know, actually Jonas Fan was still doing quite well as far as his CS went early on. But just the very, very easily won lane from Bubbles against Silhouette just started it all off. He got 1 kill, he got some more. Then they tried to go for a counter kill on him. Oh, what I mentioned, when he had the double damage room for the longest time, kept 2 heroes on the Legion team at bay, just sitting there. Ultimately, then they were like, all right, well, we can't kill him. Molly runs away, and then he nets a kill on his not Soul Stealer, but to Nox, playing Silhouette. Then Molly tries to man up, and then there's Tampa sitting behind Bubbles, and they get a counter kill. It was just kind of one after the other, and then just rode that way into a 15-minute concede.
It's got to be so bittersweet for Q Squad, because, again, they really got to hold their heads high, and something tells me they will. Nova is that kind of guy. He realizes that ultimately, I'm sure in the end, they're still fairly pleased with where they finished. I'm sure it stings right now that you even were very close to even taking it all here in cycle number 3. But okay, you look at the big picture. So sure, we didn't end up winning it all, but we finished second place. And obviously, that's still you get 2,500 points and $2,500 from that now, so that's still plenty there as far as the points and the money goes. And you still got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. So, obviously, best of luck to Q Squad in the future now as the cycles continue on. But don't know exactly how it is going to ultimately stand here. But the standings will eventually be updated. I'm guessing by tomorrow, hopefully, and then we'll get a better idea of exactly where things do stand when it comes to the standings here. Always sounds funny saying that. But, I believe we are going to try to get an interview here with one of the players. Do we have him yet? We got him? Swinnemelons, I'm guessing? Okay, Swinnemelons. Hello. Are you there?
Hello. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, buddy? You are Cycle 3 champions. It sounds like you are exhausted, I'm sure, after a pretty intense series.
That was probably the longest series I've ever played. So yeah, we're pretty wiped.
Yeah. So won 4 total games, of course. At the same time, I'm sure you're very happy with the result, becoming the champions. I mean, so what are you feeling right now?
I mean, feels pretty good. It's just a cycle. We're not going to jump to early conclusions. We were that was way, way, way closer than we were expecting. And I mean, Q Squad really played amazing. They totally caught us off guard in the first 2 games, and for game 1 especially, we really just made a lot of mistakes. But it was really them forcing us into them. So, I mean, kudos to them. They played really well, but we definitely yelled a little bit during that game. We had some narrow escapes, so
yeah.
We were going a little nuts, but it's really nice to finally win one.
Yeah, I'm sure it was pretty crazy for you guys. Again, that series as a whole was just so. All 3 of those initial games were just so. They were back and forth. I mean, you guys had your chances. I'm sure you would agree earlier on in the first couple of games, even. But in the end, I mean, it finished off with you. Let's be honest, you stomped Q Squad in the end. I mean, what was it kind of good? Was that even more of a good feeling that it finished like it did, or is it just whatever? It's still the same for you.
It definitely feels good just because we came back. It always, I think, says something about a team when they can lose and then come back and win. And I mean, we pretty much put our backs against the wall, but that's when we came through and won. So I mean, definitely really proud of the guys and obviously happy to win. So. I don't know what to say.
Well, what do you think this means for you guys? Because, again, there's been a lot of discussions specifically about your team. We mentioned it. We keep bringing up the HoNcast community rankings. How, it seems like you still got trademark and, of course, complexity were regarded up there. Obviously, now with this result, you can definitely say something different. What would you like to kind of say to the community as far as where you think your team stands?
I feel like you're trying to get me to say something.
No, not at all.
Maybe a little cocky here. Hopefully we've proven that we belong in the top 3. And, I mean, if there's anything I'd like to say, it's definitely that we're a consistent team. We're actually the only team to place in the top 3 for every cycle. So, I guess consistency is really what we've been hoping for, and we've kind of achieved that. And it's really nice to just see. I mean, the scene's still really strong. I mean, I would not be surprised if we have a new winner of the cycle coming up. I mean, it just comes down to which teams are going to put in work. I still think Complexity, TDM, and QsQ all have it in them to win a cycle, and it's just going to be really interesting to see who eventually goes. And it was announced where the finals are, right?
Oh, well, technically not.
Technically
not. So let's stay away from that.
Wherever the finals are, they're going to be great with all these teams.
Yes, they are. So again, there's still 5 more cycles to go, so obviously still plenty of time before we ultimately see who those teams are going to be. But of course, you guys are in prime position. I think this now secures you 2nd place right now in the standings.
Yeah, it does.
You will still be a little bit behind TDM, but of course that gap has closed, and especially with their 4th place finish. So I'm sure you're excited, especially to hear that. So I mean, speaking of that now, so again, we still have 5 more cycles to go. You're going to build up some momentum here, I'm sure. But you even mentioned as you first came on, it is just 1 cycle here in the end. What do you look forward to in these next cycles coming up in the future?
Well, it's gonna be really nice to have a hard carry on less than 300 ping. That's for sure. I really can't wait for that. I mean, I think it says something. We're winning now, but when Slicks is actually on 80 ping, it's gonna be pretty nice. So. Hopefully we'll actually improve, but it really just comes down to we need to continue to scrim and practice and play because, as I think was evidenced by the games this weekend, the teams are very, very close.
Yeah.
Extremely close. And I think the only difference between QsQ, TDM, and Complexity is that QsQ was practicing really hard for these couple of weeks up into the cycle, and we were as well, and I think that showed. So it's really just going to come down to really which team is the hungriest and which team wants to practice more and who really wants it the most.
Yeah. Very, very true. Terrell.
I just wanted to get your reaction about when you in the last game there when you survived somehow.
Oh,
as
God.
Pebbles. I mean, how stoked?
Oh
must you
man,
have been?
I was screaming. I was like, I literally just yelled "yeah" for a good 10 seconds. But we really went nuts when KZU killed Nox. That was just
Yeah.
like I think once that happened, I mean, you can like obviously you can argue like that turned the game significantly in our favor. But once we knew he got that kill, it was just. I feel like we just got a ton of confidence, and we all just like we really played fantastic in that game. And I give credit to KZU, definitely MVP of that one, because he really started it off with the kill on Nox, which is just totally unexpected.
Yeah, finishing off
with a
on
parasite in the woods.
Yeah,
no less.
And again, we definitely Trough specific, commented that really shouldn't happen, but KZU
Well,
making some big plays.
It shouldn't happen. It can happen, but it shouldn't. That's
of course, of course.
It just made a mistake, and KZU's a great player. I mean, he wasn't nominated for the HoNcast Yearly Awards at all, but I think he deserves a spot.
He is a great player. I have no problem debating, or not debating that, because he of course is a great player. When it comes to what he's done for the scene. So, and actually, on that note, I brought up the point about Skyzo specifically. Now, okay, you just won cycle number 3, so I think I kind of know the answer to this, but I am curious what you want to say. It seems like the roles are finally settling in here. You got your carry slicks, you got your suicide Keizo, your strict support Skyzo. Is that safe to say?
Oh yeah, the roles are. I mean, we switch it up a little bit because KZU still sort of has that farming mentality. So every once in a while, I'll play like a Suicide Tempest and Bubbles here and there. But I mean, the roles definitely work as they are. We'll do a little bit of swapping, but I really like Skyzo and Hard Support's really been just absolutely excellent. He buys way too many items. We give him shit for that because you'll notice like he'll be playing Hard Support, he'll have a Storm Spirit and a tablet, and I'm just like, hello, we need wards here, man. What's going on? But other than that, he's really like just an excellent player, and it's really nice to lane with him.
Yeah.
And it's really good. The team's really coming together. It's good to see.
Yeah. It is, and again, obviously, facts don't lie. The results show that. Cycle number 3 champions once again, Kyle. For the last time, though, I'm going to let you go here, but any shout-outs, any final shout-outs you want to make now?
No, nothing big. Just, the family, I'm sure they're all watching. Trent's family is watching. My family's watching. Papa Freak for being our constant Kongor defender at level 1, and always there to remind me to ban Zephyr, so... among other carries. I don't know. I think the big thing in that last... never mind. It's late. Thanks for casting. Thanks for viewing. And, appreciate all the fans and, keep supporting.
Hey, real quickly, you going to remember to pick up bananas next time?
We'll work on it. We'll work on it. We haven't mastered our kill Kongor every spawn yet.
Gotcha,
so
gotcha.
We'll try and keep better track of when it's the second or the third kill.
All right. Take it easy, Kyle. Congratulations again.
All right.
Take it easy.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you around.
Yep. There you go.
That reminded me, you said right there, always someone there to remind me. It's just the song kept going. Okay?
You and your songs.
Yeah.
All right. Again, it's been an awesome cycle, of course, as a whole, but this weekend really has been something special. And let's just kind of hoping. I want to see why not. Why not continue this momentum? From a coverage standpoint, from the player standpoint, it's HoN as a whole. You can compare it to whatever else if you want. Sure, go ahead and do that. But, we're having fun with it, and that's what matters. Everything seems to be going pretty damn well as far as I'm concerned. So,
yeah,
it's good to see. It's good to see. So, anyway, Stay Green, they're your Cycle 3 champions. So that means TDM winning the first 2. Now you got Stay Green winning this cycle. But, again, there's 5 more cycles to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's
a lot.
In a sense, it's not just beginning necessarily, but we're not even halfway when you think of it. So, as far as the cycles go. So I can't wait to see, again, how things eventually play out for the standings now as a result of what happened here, but going in the future, of course, Trough. So.
Yep.
Well, any final thoughts from yourself before we wrap up for the coverage here, Trough?
It's fantastic games this weekend, man. I think some of the better games and series we've casted since I've even been here, honestly. Like they've all been pretty close back and forth, except for the last game, really. Pretty close and very entertaining, not so passive farm fest, and that's been a lot of fun for not only us, I'm sure, but as well as for the viewers and even the players too. Like it's not fun, even though you're competing for a lot of money and whatnot. Like it's not fun sitting there farming, sitting back waiting as support forever until something happens, walking around warding, waiting another 20 minutes. Like it's not fun. So we've seen a lot more aggressive games and active games, and it's awesome.
It's good to see. Good to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for cycle number 3 here for HoN Tour. But again, we're in a sense not even halfway done with HoN Tour. So don't worry. Now with this week, not necessarily any HoN Tour coverage, but there will be coverage. Sounds like you want to say something there.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Anyways,
I'm kind of sick. I've been like clearing my throat all night.
Yeah, you have been a trooper today. Apparently, we're feeling too well coming in today, but I think it worked out very well in the intro. But anyway, so expect some in-house casting. You know, some random casts pop up here and there. The Friday, the Sound Blaster finals, if anything, as well. So there will be coverage throughout the week, specifically tomorrow, Tuesday, and Friday. And then once again, though, next weekend, cycle number 4 will be kicking off here for HoN Tour. And obviously focusing our coverage on the Diamond Division. So it all kind of resets and starts again next week. And what stories will we have? Well, we'll have to wait and find out what happens then. So I think that officially is going to do it, though, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow this guy at HoN.
And at BreakyCPK.
On Twitter at HoNcast. You got the HoNcast Facebook. Again, go there if you haven't. Vote for what city you think the HoN Tour Grand Finals are going to be in via the app. Facebook.com/HoNcast. HoNcast.com, the website, HoNtour.com. Check it all out. Get signed up yourself if you're not. Play some competitive years in North. And maybe one day you can even be on HoNcast and be casted by us. So until next time, though, until basically probably most likely tomorrow, something going to be coming up. But another great cycle in the books, ladies and gentlemen. That is officially going to do it here from the HoN Tour Studios. For myself, BreakyCPK, joined by Tralphamador. Shout out to Gaylor Orange. Shout out to you guys. Have a good night.